Welcome back. A Bradenton man is behind bars tonight accused of molesting a child inside of his home where he operates a daycare.
Now the mother of that 8-year-old victim is speaking out to try and prevent this crime from happening again in the future. ABC 7's Erica Jackson spoke to the parent of the victim, and she joins us live from the neighborhood in Manatee County with more tonight. Erica.
Good evening, Scott and Haley. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office tells us that the victim reported the behavior to deputies Tuesday evening, and while it's still unclear if any of the children at the daycare were affected and are some victims, the mother of the 8-year-old says that the incidents reported took place while living at this home.
Hard for you to find out that your 8-year-old is being hurt when you do everything in your power to protect them.
This mother doesn't want you to see her face, but she wants you to hear her message. She's speaking about the recent arrest of Melvin Norris, a daycare worker and family friend. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office says Norris inappropriately touched a young girl multiple times over a 2-year span at his home on Alpine Lane in Bradenton. The victim was also this mother's 8-year-old child. She says she hasn't been able to sleep since learning of what happened.
I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm devastated. I blame myself for not being there to protect her.
Investigators say Norris and his wife run Norris Family Daycare. Neighbors of Norris, hearing about the allegations, were taken aback.
That's very surprising. I mean, I see kids up and down this block all the time, so it's very shocking.
Moses Shepard lives across the street from Norris's home. Although he doesn't have any children, he says he understands why families remain on high alert.
Since this has happened, I mean, you have no idea who anybody is, so just protect your children at all costs.
And that's why this mother is taking her warning to the public.
If my kids were saying it, it's what happened. And I want to believe them full-heartedly.
Norris now faces a charge of lewd and lascivious molestation, and now the victim's mother tells us that the hero in this case is actually her son. He came to her with these allegations, and she contacted authorities. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Erica Jackson. Scott and Haley, back to you.
Thank you, Erica. A former Mississippi law enforcement officer is in jail tonight, accused of hitting 5 children with his car at a Florida bus stop, killing one of them. The Polk County Sheriff says a group of middle school age children had just gotten off at the school bus yesterday afternoon when John Camfield hit them with his car. 5 children were hurt, 2 were critically injured. One of them later died. Deputies say after he hit the children, Camfield hit another car, injuring a pregnant woman. Soon after, an off-duty deputy arrested Camfield.
This drunk man in this car drove off of the road and ran through these children and scattered them like a bowling ball through bowling pins.
Sheriff Judd says Camfield worked for 10 agencies in Mississippi before moving to Florida. He faces multiple charges, including DUI with serious bodily injury and leaving the scene of a crash.
Drivers who pass a stopped school bus and injure or kill a student may soon face harsher penalties in Florida. The House passing a measure unanimously today. The sponsor of the bill says he decided to try and change the law after he learned a student in his district was killed by a driver who passed a stopped school bus. That driver only received a $1,000 fine and a 6-month license suspension. Under the new bill, the driver would receive a $1,500 fine and a 1-year license suspension. They would also have to serve 120 hours of community service in the trauma center and attend a victim impact panel or driver improvement course.
The Venice Show mobile stage is going up for auction. The mobile stage has served the city of Venice for the last 22 years, but age and weather have now taken their toll. In fact, the last time the stage was used for an event, the ceiling collapsed. Thankfully, no one was injured because repairs are far too costly. The Public Works Department is now putting the stage up for auction.
Because we store it outside, the weather has really gotten to it, and it's rusting everywhere inside and out.
City officials say a similar stage was recently auctioned off elsewhere for around $5,000. They do not expect to get that much for this stage.
Suncoast Boat Show getting bigger and better. Organizers say the attendance at last weekend's 35th annual show at Marina Jack in Sarasota was 16% higher than the year before. More people may have been drawn to the Bayfront this year because the show had a larger number of boats on display, and the largest they've had in a decade. With 125 exhibitors, the show included everything from yachts and fishing boats, cruisers, and jet skis, and everything in between.
And they probably saw Bob out there having a lot of fun and, you know, scoping out all those boats. So they said, we got to get out there too. So.
Maybe, yeah. Beautiful boats
They
for all of
They
us.
were really nice.
Hey, Bob.
They were nice. I saw one that was, I think, 85 feet. And, you know, that's a pretty big boat right there. And also some big boats, a little bit out of my price range, but not too bad for some folks around there. And we had beautiful weather for it. They also had a couple of fishing demonstrations too, and some seminars for some of the kids over the weekends too, and that may help things out a little bit. Bentway's a webcam showing out there. The boating not too bad, a little bit on the breezy side, a lot of sailboats going on by Sarasota Bay, and it looks as though we'll see pretty good conditions for boating over the weekend, although we may see a little bit of a wave action during the morning hours. Winds will be up in the morning out of the east and southeast at around 15 knots, subsiding somewhat later in the day. Well, no real threat of any significant rain around this evening. There's a chance for an isolated thunderstorm to pop up, mainly inland, but the air is still rather dry. That dry air that had been over the top of us is exiting a little bit to the east. We have some high clouds streaming in from the west associated with the subtropical jet stream. You can see some of that moving off toward the east right now. We'll have much more on the weekend weather forecast. It's going to be hot, yes, with temperatures into the low to mid 90s in places. Details coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. President Trump is marking his first 100 days in office on the road. He will hold a rally tomorrow, but today he was in front of a friendly crowd at the NRA's annual meeting. The president's milestone comes as Congress manages to avoid a government shutdown for one more week. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest from Washington.
President Trump back in front of the National Rifle Association in Atlanta.
You came through for me, and I am going to come through for you.
In the White House, the president even more confident on the eve of his first 100 days in office.
It's a false standard, 100 days, but I have to tell you, I don't think anybody has done what we've been able to do in 100 days.
The president signing his 30th executive order Friday morning, directing a review of offshore drilling. Ahead of his 100-day milestone, Trump told Reuters he thought being president would be easier as he deals with major domestic and foreign policy issues, like North Korea giving this warning.
Well, there's a chance that we could end up having a major conflict with North Korea. Absolutely.
The new president avoiding a government shutdown for at least one more week. Lawmakers could vote next week on a spending bill that would keep the government open until the end of September. And that new GOP health care bill, right now, Republicans don't have the votes to give the president his first legislative win, as reviews on his first 100 days continue to come in.
I give him an A. So in 100 days, he's reignited our place in the world, leadership.
He has not accomplished much, and then he compares it to like Franklin D. Roosevelt. It's astounding.
Running the country may be hard, but President Trump will be back in familiar territory Saturday. He's holding a rally in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania to mark his 100th day in office. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
The United States is now calling for new sanctions on North Korea. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson chairing a special United Nations Security Council today. The country's top diplomat telling world leaders that doing nothing about North Korean nuclear and missile programs could be catastrophic.
Diplomatic and financial levers of power will be backed up by a willingness to counteract North Korean aggression with military action, if necessary. We much prefer a negotiated solution to this problem, but we are committed to defending ourselves and our allies against North Korean aggression.
Tillerson chastising countries who have not enforced sanctions already on the books and suggesting they withdraw diplomats from North Korea. The secretary also offered veiled criticism of its biggest trading partner, China, saying by doing business in North Korea, countries are giving their approval.
Good news for the Bush family. President George H.W. Bush has been released from a Houston hospital. He was treated for a mild case of pneumonia and chronic bronchitis during the 2-week stay. The 92-year-old was previously hospitalized for 16 days in January, also with pneumonia. During that hospital stay, which included some time in intensive care, doctors inserted a breathing tube and connected him to a ventilator.
An historic house in Sarasota a little shadier thanks to a new addition from the city of Sarasota. The city celebrating Arbor Day today, National Arbor Day, by planting a white Geiger tree in front of the historic Bidwell house. The city also handed out around 125 trees to residents. Homeowners were able to pick from one of 4 species and then have it planted on their property. There's also a new canopy program this year where the trees are mailed to residents.
The idea is just to get more trees planted in our community for all the benefits that trees provide that, and I'm sure a lot of people know, but from public health benefits to financial and economic benefits, environmental benefits, the benefits of trees are endless.
Sarasota has been named a Tree City USA by the Arbor Day Foundation for the 31st year. And the shade they provided today came in handy.
Much needed, yes.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, aid in the fight to combat a national opioid epidemic.
How you can do a little spring cleaning and prevent the misuse of old prescriptions.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. Insider info on how to have the best Kentucky Derby Day. Plus, we asked Dr. Jenny about live blood tests and Table Creekside in the kitchen.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View. At Bacon Furniture's spring clearance event, we've slashed prices on our most popular styles. Look for the red balloons for the biggest savings. Save 30, 50, even 70% off throughout the showroom. Bedrooms, dining rooms, sofas, chairs, recliners, and so much more. All at the lowest prices of the season. Don't miss the spring clearance event going on now only at Bacon's Furniture and Design in Sarasota. Nobody beats Bacon's.
It's the season of savings right now during the spring clearance event at Sunset Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Over 100 standard and available safety features make the new Chrysler Pacifica a safe investment for any family. And right now, you can own one for just $24,999. Or get one of America's longest lasting pickups and save up to $11,000 on a new Ram Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
The Wild Broadway series at the Players Center brings you the classic farce, Boeing, Boeing. It's the 1960s, and our swingin' bachelor is juggling 3 beautiful stewardesses from 3 competing airlines. But what happens when Boeing produces a faster plane? Comedy ensues. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. Opening April 26th, it's Boeing, Boeing.
Tomorrow, you have an opportunity to get rid of old, potentially dangerous prescription drugs.
Many people have bottles of unfinished prescriptions and unused pills in their medicine cabinets. Those drugs can be dangerous if they are accidentally taken or they are in households with small children. Those old pills could pose a potentially fatal risk. Fortunately, tomorrow is National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. There are several locations on the Suncoast where you can drop off your old pills. For a list of those locations, go to our website, mysuncoast.com.
It's not surprising doctors make pretty good money, but according to a new report, male doctors make significantly more than their female counterparts. According to a new report from Doximity, a social network for healthcare, for roughly every dollar a man makes, females earn an average of 74 cents. That translates to female physicians earning roughly $91,000 less a year than male doctors. The report was based on 36,000 responses from full-time licensed physicians who practice at least 40 hours a week.
Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. That earlier accident backing up traffic on US 301 is now clearing up. Now, the most delays drivers are seeing come from the typical congestion northbound on, guess where, I-75 near Fruitville. Now, let's head over to Bob.
Thanks, Haley. A beautiful day today, albeit on the warmer side. Temperatures did manage to get to near 90 degrees right along the coastline even as a result of a stronger east to southeasterly wind component. And we'll see that throughout the day tomorrow. So expect temperatures to be well above average. And we are looking at pretty good boating weather over the weekend. Not the best, but we will see seas running a little higher as a result of the southeasterly wind flow at around 15 knots. And that could be causing a little bit of an issue, but not much. Now, what's happening is this large area of high pressure continues to dominate the weather off the East Coast, and it's really building at the surface and the upper levels of the atmosphere, kind of keeping everything to the north and west of us right now as the winds rotate around this in this clockwise fashion and kind of blocks anything from entering into the weather picture. So expect the hot weather to continue over the southeast, even stretching up into the mid-Atlantic coast states. And rainfall, it'll be sparse. Isolated thunderstorm not out of the question, as we saw yesterday into Highlands County. Just one storm in our entire viewing area that blew up at around 7:30, 8 o'clock last night. 86 degrees currently, so it has cooled a little bit. The dew point is 71. That makes it muggy out there. Winds are to the southwest at 15. And the high today, 89 degrees. So it was just 3 degrees shy of the record of 92. 1974 got up to 92 degrees and 8.14 inches of rain, 8.14 inches below average for the year and over a foot below the year since October. Now, the forecast tomorrow does call for a temperature to reach 90 degrees even at the airport. We'll have some clouds, but not much. Lots of sunshine. As I mentioned, there may be a little bit of patchy fog to start the morning off, but that fog will lift by 9, 10 o'clock, and we'll see generally sunny skies as this model depicts. Sunshine, a few clouds, and no mention of any rainfall. Look at that. It just stays dry even through Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday. We start to see a little increase in moisture due to this frontal system, which will produce some rough weather over the southern portion of the United States and the lower Mississippi Valley. We could see some severe weather into Louisiana, off into Mississippi and Alabama. Right now, some showers moving through Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, up near Toledo, stretching down toward central Indiana and near St. Louis. They had some bigger storms earlier. Iowa also getting some rainfall. Flood watch is in effect for parts of Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana through this evening. And that's a result of that frontal boundary just kind of hanging right there. It's separating this warm, moist air to the south and that colder air. St. Louis now at 57 degrees, so the heavier rain is over for them, but out ahead of it into Kentucky and Tennessee, the rain is a little bit heavier there. For boaters tomorrow, I mentioned that southeast wind. They'll start off at 15 knots, subsiding somewhat in the afternoon. Seas running 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature heating up, 81 degrees, and the beaches will see even warm temperatures there, 87. The tide's upcoming. The low tide will be at 10:08, and a high tide will be at 4:29. Sunset should be a good one, 8:02. Mostly fair, patchy fog, 71 for a low. And for tomorrow, look for another nice day. High near 90 degrees and southeasterly winds at 15, mostly sunny skies. The extended forecast, it does call for a little bit better chance for a few showers anyway. Come next week. The rain chance is starting to pick up a little bit, and a front will approach on Friday, bringing with it some cooler temperatures and a better chance for a few showers and storms. A little bit breezy, though, and notice the temperatures do cool down a bit by Thursday and Friday of next week. Well, I didn't get a chance to get out there fishing, but Johnny did. Got to look at that. That's a barracuda right there, and this is Scott Gettle catching this off of Anna Maria. That's a huge permit. Nice catch there, Scott. And this one from down the Keys, this is Matt McKinnon from Matt's Towing in Bradenton. He sent that picture in. And this is a big bluefish. This was on, again, Captain Justin Moore's boat. And this one, Coach Steve Herrick, a big snook. And get a look at this, Vera Walker. This is Captain Johnny's mother. And that's Trey helping her out with a keeper snook there, as you just saw. And this one's a great shot. And this is Kellen Hunt catching a nice, again, spotted sea trout there, so a lot of fish being caught. And tarpon are around. The water temperature is warming up, and tarpon are moving in and out throughout the water. This is the dry dock, and typically we get a chance to feed those huge tarpon right there, but can't catch them. You can only kind of look at them. A lot of people check those out. There's a big tarpon tournament taking place next week and goes on for a while from starting Saturday, May 6th through June 11th. There's multiple prizes. The kickoff banquet is Thursday, May 4th. and it's the Hyatt Regency in Sarasota. And look at that, 87 years they've been doing that. The longest running tarpon tournament in the United States, I believe. So
wow.
It's been going on a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of people there.
You
Historic.
can get some good stuff if you sign up.
We may try to get some tarpon next week.
Oh, go for it.
So,
okay.
All right.
Thank you, Bob.
Digital sales are growing even for businesses like Starbucks. The coffee company reports that 29% of its sales are prepaid online or through its mobile app. The app, which allows customers to pay for orders through mobile phones, was recently updated to allow customers to place orders for pickup as well. The update was a hit, but it did create long lines from people picking up orders, which warded off customers who thought they were waiting in line to place orders at the register instead.
If you recently bought a Toyota Tacoma pickup, listen up. Toyota is recalling 250,000 2016 and 17 Tacoma trucks, mainly in North America, because the rear wheels could possibly lock up, causing drivers to lose control. The automaker says oil can leak from the rear differential, damaging components and causing the differential to lock up and stop the wheels from moving. It's not known yet if the problem has led to any accidents or injuries.
Entertainment news is coming up next.
Day at 4 on Suncoast View.
I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. Insider info on how to have the best Kentucky Derby Day. Plus, we asked Dr. Jenny about live blood tests and Table Creekside in the kitchen.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by 1 on any or all numbers and still win.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is rated the #1 car brand in safety, and all Subaru models with EyeSight are a 2017 IIHS Top Safety Pick. And you can lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester, for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Harry Styles is announcing a world tour ahead of the release of his first solo album.
The former One Direction singer will kick off the tour in San Francisco on September 19th. The tour will wrap up in North America on October 14th before moving to Europe, Singapore, Australia, and Tokyo. Styles' self-titled solo debut album is set for release on May 12th.
Jennifer Lopez shined at last night's Latin Billboard Music Awards. The superstar debuted her new song from her upcoming Spanish language album. This will be J-Lo's first album since 2007. She also received the Telemundo Star Award for her achievements beyond music and the Artist of the Year.
One of the fashion world's most important parties kicks off Monday at New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art. The invitation-only fundraiser benefits the museum's Costume Institute and acts as a launch party for the spring exhibition. Attendees are the who's who in the fashion world: designers, celebrities, models, and editors. The theme for this year's Costume Institute exhibit is inspired by silhouettes that look like works of art.
The largest parade in Southwest Florida, the Medallion Home DeSoto Heritage Parade, will be rolling through the streets of Bradenton tomorrow night. The parade kicks off at 6:30 from Manatee High School and will head east on Manatee Avenue towards downtown Bradenton. Parade goers will see dozens of floats and illuminated displays and a glimpse of the newly crowned Queen and Princess. For the event, Manatee Avenue will be closed from US 41 to 44th Street West from 5:30 until midnight on Saturday night.
Always a huge turnout for that.
Huge.
It's a big deal there.
More than 100,000.
Wow. We'll be right back.
Introducing the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia, a performance masterpiece. Race-inspired handling and lightning-fast response times take your drive to the next level. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
This week on Animal Outtakes, we'll meet up with one of the world's largest birds, and you won't see them taking off in the air to get away from predators.
Bernard is actually part of the Retite family. He is cousin to the rheas,